had love before, I just wanna make you.
Hello once again, wherever you are in the world. I remain Rookman for Animate Me here, and once again I just want to show you how I created some work of mine. Excuse me. And I hope you are doing great wherever you are in the world. I got some messages on Facebook, YouTube, and also on WhatsApp about how I actually created this animation of one of the governors of our states here in Nigeria, Africa, and most people thought that this was a 3D work, but it was all created in Moho Studio and it's purely 2D. So I'll be showing you what I did and how I created this from scratch, though I will not be creating this from scratch. I'll just be showing you and telling you what I had put together to actually make this awesome character. You know, usually doing a look-alike character is usually not that easy, but I'm rendering this out so that you could see, and if you had seen this man's picture before, you could tell that he is the one, as happy as he looks here, though maybe a little bit fresher and a bit younger than he is in real life. But it was not easy getting that direct look of his, but I did my best, and that is what this is what I get. So when we go into the file here, the bone file, if you have been following my course, I had taught how to create characters and bone them and you know, animate them. So I just want to quickly show you the things I did and created all together. So I'll turn on the bone is turned on, yes, and so this is what it is. I'll go to my bone character here. I'll go to the layer where the bone layer here, and you could see I had created the head up and down bone, the head turn, the eyebrows, eye blink, eye left and right, eye up and down, mouth open, mouth closed. Okay, so if I toggle this, you could see how it functions and it works. You know, some little hiccups here and there, but that's Moho Studio for you. But you just need to also know what you are doing to fix some of those things up. So let me turn off the glasses so that you could see how the eyes are. So this is the eyebrow, this is the eye, increasing it in shock and, you know, a blink, all right, and up and down, mouth open, mouth close, all right, the mouth O, making the O sound, and, you know, so on and so forth. And this is the body turn left and right, all right. So, you know, that's all for it. Then the rest are just basic animation, basic boning, making sure that all the parts are functioning properly. So during animation, one will have to, you know, create the animation properly. So I'll Ctrl Z to undo all those stuff that I have put in there. Then I just want to show you because if I render this out, you can see how smooth the character is. The file is a bit heavy because of the shadows and shadings I applied to bring out the character very well, and you could see the shades at the background. I will explain how I did that also. Okay, it's finally coming up. You can tell it's looking a bit 3D from the way it looks, with the soft shadows and highlights that are in there. Okay, so let me show you real quick what I did, starting from the face itself. Let's go into the face. So the face, it has a normal color, so I added shadows, and these shadows are very soft, and these are the shadows you can see and almost see by the side here. So the ones for the eyes, you can see them really deep, but the ones at the side of the face, except you look very properly, you could see very soft light here to just give that look. So when you are looking at it, it looks much more real than it is. These are the ones you see by the side here. So I just made different color shades of all the shadows you see by his side, but the ones for the eyes, so that the eyes should pop out more, I make sure it's much more darker. You can see, you can see it here. It's much more darker, and the one for under the nose a bit darker, and the one to show the cheeks of the character, and the one below the chin. So, and also for the eyebrow, if we go into the eye, I had used my draw tool to create that. Let me go to 0. So I use this tool here to draw out the eyebrows. Alright, so you know, something like that. I drew out all the eyebrows, and that is what I have you see here for the eyebrow, to make it look a bit natural and real, instead of just having that one shade to show that that is the eyebrow. So the same thing for the eyeballs is normal, and I also have these lines to show how the eyes is, and this is the way I created the eyes. You could see I have the first layer, and then the second layer within that first layer. Alright, so this dark part you see here, it makes the eyes looks much more real and pops out more. That is how I like to create my character. You can see it here, especially when I'm doing a realistic character. Alright, and that is the way that was created. Let me zoom out a bit. So and also for the cap, you know, I drew out the cap, and I can remove the cap also. You could see his head and in the cap. Alright, so the hair also, and the shadow. For the hair, you might be wondering how I was able to get that. I used brushes to make the hair of the character here, where you see brushes. So if I highlight this right now, let me go to hair, and I click on this, so you could see the type of brush I had used here, which is called CK Hairy Tune brush, this one, and this is the settings that I use. 120 for the jitter angle, and brush spacing is 65. Alright, that was how I was able to get this brushy feel for the hair that you see here, you know, to make it look much more realistic. Alright, so I'll turn on the cap, and basically that is what I did. Then the mouth is the second part, which is one of the complicated parts of the character. So if we go into the mouth, you can see what I did here is the line, this line that moves from the nose, that shows you the cheeks of the character, this curve you see here, you know, I added it also with the mouth, so that while I'm creating the animation of the mouth, there is this motion of, you feel like the face and everything is moving together. Alright, so if I go to this to the main character here, and I move the mouth, you will notice how the lines, take note of these lines you see here, how they move also with the character. So it gives you the notion of, while I was creating the smart bone for it, I made sure I created that action in there, so that the mouth can move easily and looks real, much more real. Alright, so the way I created the mouth is actually very simple. It's on one vector layer, so I lap all of them into themselves. So we have our teeth, we have our lip, and we have our tongue inside. Alright, so, and I can turn off the mouth, and you see there is no more mouth on the character. Alright, so the mouth is placed there by itself. Okay, so that is that for that, and I think the rest you should understand a bit. The ears, we had to create that, we draw that in there, and all this was created by tracing out from an original picture of the character. I don't think I have it here anymore. I had to trace him out from that original picture. That's how I was able to get to this. Okay, then The torso, you know, pretty basic and simple. You know, is a man standing, and you could see how I drew out my bones. I boned the character. Pretty basic boning. If you have been following my tutorials, you will notice this is the way I try to bone my character for simplicity's sake. Okay, no too much complexity. All right. So you may be wondering how I got the hair to be white here and so on. All I had to do was just highlight certain parts of the hair like this. I could highlight this part, let's say from this part to this part, and all I had to do was to go in here. I'll click on this create shape tool, select this shape here, then I'll come to my fill tool for the line width, and I'll change it to white or whatever color I want it to be. Then I'll hit OK, and I'll create shape. So automatically you can see it turns to white. Alright, so and it just blends. Since it's a brush tool, everything just looks okay. So when it comes to the animation itself, I mean, that is up to you to really know how to create your animations. These are the animations I have here for the character and the way he moves, and I try to mimic the way he acts in real life. I watched a couple of his videos to see how he bends and turns, so I just try to mimic that a bit. It's not like 100%, but at least let's say 30 to 40% of how he moves to the way he speaks. So I try to imitate that in the animation, just to give it that natural feel. And since we have all those head tones and everything in there, everything looks really great. Okay, so also you could see I added some fill light here for the cap and for the hand also. Let's go back to our render. So you could see some light white light here, and I also added to the face, but very light ones that you can't really tell. How I did that was using my color pick tool to add those lights. So if I go to the cap right now, so because there's a contrast here it's much more lighter than this part, so I had to add a little bit of lightening there. So I use my color picker tool, this one. You can check the other video. I already explained how to use the color picker tool, so all I did was use it here to add this light in the animation. Okay, so the same thing for the background. Everything you see on the background is not gradient out, it's actually the color picker tool I used to make this background. I use the color picker tool to add these shades to each cloth at the background here. Also the main background itself, this large one, I use the color picker tool to make it darker and lighter by just hitting this point here and adding the color tool, picking the color green that I want from here and whichever, and you know, I just added in and made it more interesting to watch. And since he's a Nigerian, his background needs to be a bit green, I know, and this looks like military green, isn't it? Yeah. So well, that is how I had created. And also the chair, so let me turn him off, and also the chair that he's sitting on, or looks like he's sitting on. Since the shot we have here is a medium shot, so I made it to look as if he's actually sitting on a chair. So the same thing, I used the color pick tool to add all these colors you see here on the chair. So it's not gradient, it's actually the color pick tool, and I soften it out using the color strength. So do check out the other videos I have out there that I explained the color pick tool and how to use it. Alright, so with that being said, that is how I created this amazing simple animation. That is how I created this amazing simple animation, and we have it. there you go. So I want you to go ahead and like my tutorials, share it if you feel it's interesting and you understand. Whatever you don't understand, please feel free to contact me via Facebook, WhatsApp, or Gmail, or on YouTube here, and I will do my best to inspire, empower, and give you more knowledge that I have, because I'm also learning and I don't know everything. And I will also be glad if you could teach me one or two things. So let's keep the work alive and keep making great stories, doing Africa proud, and making great animations. Please, please, please subscribe to my channel. Help me get to 100,000 followers, and let's make great stuff happen. See you in the next upcoming video.
Look, I never really had love before. I just wanna make you